everybody, and welcome to Seven Strategies. I am Miri Rossitto, CEO and founder of Cow Communications, cow.com, C-O-W-E, community of working entrepreneurs. Are you guys following us on social at Cow Official, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter? What? All right, today, you guys, it is Strategy 6. We are on episode 7. And we are on day billion of the global pandemic. Are you exhausted as I am? Because, wow. All right, you guys, promises are not just the declaration of children. Today, we're talking about realization. You make promises, your business makes promises, your product or service makes promises. Let's talk about if, how, when are you delivering on those promises? Because that, my friends, is realization. Okay, the most important of a promise is realization. That's the execution, that is the delivery of that promise, and without it, your business is going nowhere. Geico. Geico makes a promise that in 15 minutes or less, they can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Very clever. If it's not true, guess what? Then you wouldn't be hearing that commercial 800,000 times a day. And they make really good commercials though, don't they? I mean, they are pretty clever and funny. But seriously, BMW, ultimate driving machine. These companies, these brands, you make promises. You need to deliver on those promises because if you don't, people know and then people talk about it. And what do we know about people? What people say about your brand. That's your brand message. That's what people are spreading the word and saying about your brand. You can't change that if you lied and during introduction you said, it's the ultimate driving machine, and then it putters along and it falls apart and the seats are crumbly. And no, it's not the ultimate driving machine. And then people are going to talk about that. And so it doesn't matter how much you want to say that your marketing message, your slogan, your value proposition, your mission, your vision, your values, this is who we are. And if the realization's not there, that's actually not who you are. And your brand will suffer from that. So you guys, you need to think about your brand and your business's realization. Okay, let's talk about this for just a second. Did you fulfill all the promises that you made during the introduction, right? Because when you first meet somebody, and we talked about this last time, introduction, that is when you are doing your best sparkly work and you're like, hey, so we can do this and we can do that, and you're going to experience this and that. And then the realization happens. Did you do it? When it comes to your mission, your vision, and your values, are you aligning that with your realization? So if you're saying, we can do this in this extraordinary way, and we're doing all of this because we're looking to achieve X, if you're not following through on this, then I assure you that you're not achieving X. And then, it's just one big cluster. So don't do that. Sounds small, but it's big. If you have a physical office, if people are going and they're meeting you and that's part of the realization process, guys, you got to up your game. You have to play the part. Your office should look amazing. Your presentation should be fantastic. The devil's in the details, and your details should be phenomenal. Does the realization go above and beyond, or is it just the bare minimum? All right, let's talk for a second. You guys, we all know when someone's faking something. We know when someone's eating something, whether or not they like it or they kind of like it. We know if somebody went to a movie, if they liked it or they really liked it or they didn't really like it. We know when people are faking things. We know when people are just doing the bare minimum. They're just getting by. If you're in business, you never want to give the impression that you're just getting by. You want to give it your all, no matter. So it's about quality, not quantity. And even if you're doing a volume play, you still want to really, really focus on your quality. That's realization. It is so important. Let's talk about your promises as a business owner. So in strategy 2, we talked about the importance of not only the people that you serve, but the people that make up and influence and guide your business. They're a huge part of realization. What are the promises that you're making to them? because it's not just about the promises that you're making to the public. You make promises to the people that work for you. I am using my finger so emphatically because I really feel strongly. I think people really think about realization about how that looks to everybody else externally. But I really, really want small businesses to focus on their internal operations. It's really important, especially realization. So, how do people feel being associated with your business or your brand internally? That is going to show externally. Do you promise a fair, safe, or healthy work environment? Not just or, and healthy, inclusive, safe, equal. Come on, guys. It is 2021. We got to make this happen. And it starts with small businesses. We lead the way. Do you communicate regularly? And do you make plans with the people who work for you or with you or your partners? You need to make those connections. Again, realization is a huge part of that. What people say about your brand, really important. And if you are building that culture internally, it'll show externally. It's going to reflect in your realization. And those are the promises, right? Like you're promising other people so many things. You need to follow through on them. All right, I'm going to give you a few tips around powerful realization, and then you guys will be done. And then we're going to do follow-up next time. And that's the best one. That's the most important one. And you can't get to follow-up. You'll get to follow-up, right? But follow-up's not going to matter if your realization did not work. So invest in realization, invest in your people, invest in technology, invest in the experience, invest into your location and to all those details. You guys need to spend money before you make money. So invest in those details. Put your money where your mouth is. When realization is done well, it's done voluntarily. It's not being done with a gun held to your head. You need to be actively involved in realization. We make promises. I want to deliver on those promises. I want it to be an extraordinary experience. Make sure that you are doing that. Choose impeccable service, guys. Choose quality every single time. Your promises need to be clear. You do not want to have a promise that, well, we're going to deliver you A, but sometimes it'll have B. Only on Wednesdays, though, will you have to do X and Y, but also sometimes we put mustard on it, and if you like Windex, you're in luck. That's not helpful. That is not a clear promise. You need to have clear promises if you want to have extraordinary realization. So think about that and make sure, last but not least, make sure it aligns with your mission, vision, and values. Has to happen. This has been amazing. You guys, 7 strategies. I appreciate you being here. Follow us at Cow Official. If you need anything, contact at cow.com. I will see you guys soon. Bye.